Before we get into the hockey tonight, I just wanted to send my best wishes to all the people that lost loved ones out in Vancouver last night, in at the Lapu Lapu Festival in Vancouver. Horrible, horrible. 11 people got murdered at this festival, and just want to send my best wishes. And you guys are in my the family members are in my prayers right now. The horrible, horrible act of crime, act of violence that happened, and there's just no words to put into it except I pray for peace of mind for all these people. And yeah, you guys are in my thoughts and prayers. As we transition into the hockey, it is a hard right turn from that kind of story, but we have to move on. It's tough to, but the first game of the day that we are going to talk about is the Winnipeg Jets taking on the St. Louis Blues, and the series is now tied. Both teams have won both games at home, and the series shifts over to Winnipeg with the series tied 2-2. The St. Louis Blues, they win this one 5-1, just a complete dominating effort from the Blues tonight. The Jets didn't really seem to be in it at all tonight. They did score an important goal from Kyle Connor that made the game seem like it was going to be a little bit closer, but in the long run, it just wasn't. Jordan Binnington, he looked absolutely phenomenal in the net tonight for the St. Louis Blues. Jake Neighbors, he scored his first goal as in the playoffs for the Blues as well. Just a very good all-around performance from the Blues today. Braden Shen, he also picks up 2 points in this performance. It is wild to think that he was in massive trade rumors, possibly even coming to the Toronto Maple Leafs at the trade deadline, and he said no. The St. Louis Blues said no, I should say, and it is, boy, oh boy, is it ever paying off for the Blues right now. One last thing that should be noted for the Winnipeg Jets, this is the third straight away game in the playoffs that Connor Hellebuyck has been pulled. He's gotten yanked in 3 straight away games. That is pathetic by Hellebuyck. I'm sorry, he is going to win the Vezina this year as the best goalie of the regular season, but he has looked shaky. I'd say 3 out of 4 games of this series. I'm not trying to harp on the guy, but I did put him on fraud watch earlier in the regular season, and it's starting to look like it's true. Eric Comrie had to come into this game and the last game, and it's just not looking good. He'll probably play good in game 5 in Winnipeg, but then they'll go back to St. Louis and light up another stinky pile of poo. But it's something to be aware of, and it's something to keep a close eye on as this series continues. The next game is the Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. The Carolina Hurricanes win today 5-2 to take a chokehold, a stranglehold lead, 3-1 series lead. So the Devils, they did have a double overtime victory in the last game, and it just didn't pan out for them in this one. They did push it to 3-2 in this game. They were without Kovacevic in this game as well, so it's just a lot of bad things. The whole team is injured for the Devils practically, it seems like. So you got to give credit where it's due. They are staying in these games for a little bit, but then Carolina, their experience and their quality just comes out, and it's taking over these games, let's just be frank. Main highlight from this game, Andrei Svechnikov, the star player for the Carolina Hurricanes. I blanked for a second there. He got a hat trick in this game. Very good performance. He got the hat trick goal on the empty netter to put that nail in the coffin for the Canes. Just very good from Svechnikov. He got the first goal very early. I think if I remember correctly, the Canes scored in the first minute of each period, and they were both Svechnikov. If we wanted to focus on one positive point from the Devils, Timo Meier, he got 2 points in this game, getting a goal and an assist. He and Jesper Bratt are pretty much the main guys that are left on this squad, so they have to pick it up if they have any chance of pulling off a victory in Game 5 in Carolina. We got another 5-2 game to cover. The Washington Capitals and the Montreal Canadiens. The Capitals, they win 5-2 to take a 3-1 series lead in this one. Fun fact, every series in the Eastern Conference right now is at 3-1. With the exception of Tampa Bay, Florida, with Florida being up 2-1. They just haven't played enough games for the series to be like that. But 3 out of 4 are at 3-1 series leads. The Maple Leafs, the Capitals, and the Hurricanes all have 3-1 series leads. The Montreal Canadiens even had the lead in this game, leading 2-1. And then in the third period, the Capitals just bombarded the Montreal Canadiens and just took the game completely over. Dylan Strome, he got 2 points in this game, picking up a goal and an assist. Brandon Duhaime was probably the hero for the Washington Capitals, getting 2 goals in this game, one being the game-winning goal. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it got officially classified as the game-winning goal, but it was the goal that put the Capitals ahead to be able to get those empty net goals. So I would consider that a game-winning goal. I don't know if it's officially being classified as that, but it is for me. Logan Thompson, he was back in net. I thought he was done for the year with the way that he left the game in the last one. He had to be helped off by 2 teammates, and he couldn't put any pressure on his leg. It looked like he did his groin, his ACL, one of those horrible injuries it looked like it was going to be. And then he's back in this game. Holy crap, what a warrior. So game 5 is in Washington in the next one where they can close out the series. I have a feeling they might. I did pick Montreal to win a second game in this one, but it will be very, very tough. Every series in the Western Conference is now tied at 2 games apiece. What a performance by the Edmonton Oilers. They were down 3-1 in this game, and they come back in the third period, tied 3-3, heading into overtime. Calvin Pickard standing tall for the Edmonton Oilers. You got to give him credit where it's due. He looked great in this overtime period. Darcy Kemper even looked better until they lost the game. But yeah, Gavrikov, he takes the stupid penalty, tripping McDavid in overtime with about 2.5 minutes, 2 3/4 minutes left in the first overtime period. He trips McDavid, goes to the box, and who else? Leon Draisaitl scores the overtime power play game-winning goal for the Edmonton Oilers. After pretty handedly getting beaten by the LA Kings in LA in the first 2 games, the Oilers, they come home and they win 2 games and desperately needed these 2 games, because if LA went home with a 3-1 series victory, I don't think hockey would have been coming back to Edmonton. LA's been so good at home, and there was just, in my opinion, no chance that Edmonton was going to come home with a 3-3 series or a 3-2 series lead. So it would be very interesting if it didn't work out the way it is. But the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers are now tied at 2 games apiece. This game ended 4-3 in overtime in favor of the Oilers. I forgot to say the score at the top of the segment, but Evan Bouchard, he's been getting a lot of hate, probably deservedly so, for his defensive performances, but he has 2-goal games in back-to-back games for the Edmonton Oilers, and you can't ask for anything else from this guy because he is coming up big in the moments that you need him. So yes, he struggles on defense quite a bit, but right now you take the goals where you can get them, because you're not getting them from many other people right now. So you take the good with the bad, and Evan Bouchard is your player right now. He has the most goals on your team right now in the playoffs. Leon Draisaitl, I mentioned him as the game-winning goal scorer. He got a goal and 2 assists. That's wrong. A goal and 3 assists for 4 points in this game, leading his team by example. He doesn't do much wrong. Let's just say that he gets points, so many points in every game, and he doesn't seem to disappoint in any fashion right now. So the Western Conference is wide open. Every game, every series tied at 2-2. What will happen? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out. There are a couple games tomorrow. Talk to you during those games. I have predictions coming out, and then I'll have my recap coming out just like this later on in the evening. On that note, I guess that's about it. Let's wrap it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hit like, hit subscribe, do your thing. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for all my new subscribers. YouTube needs to do a bit better, in my opinion. TikTok, we're doing pretty darn good. But thanks so much for watching. See you later.